Hello and welcome into Reese Stadium of Yale University for this men's soccer matchup between the Pioneers of Sacred Heart and the Bulldogs of Yale. I'm Henry Zadarine. With me, as always, Brian Tompkins. Brian, you're familiar with both of these teams. You've been talking to the coaches. What would you say are some things that we can be looking for in this matchup today?
Well, I'm sure the Yale team is going to be excited. They've come off a terrific result in Michigan last week, tying on the road. First home game of the season. I think they're going to come out flying. They're going to come out and press hard.
So this time Downs is going to take it all the way into the box. A chance here, but the head comes off. And now a shot from distance, and it sails over the crossbar and into the hedges.
It's good stuff from Yale. They're really creating some danger from these set pieces. Kenagy doesn't quite get his head down enough on that. It was a good effort, though. So good signs from Yale. They haven't allowed Sacred Heart to establish much rhythm.
Side, trying to find a way to get around this Yale defense, which so far hasn't allowed a goal. Now a nice run up here on the left side, and a little bit of what looked like a trip, and we're going to have a penalty called. It looks like we're going to have, a penalty for the Bulldogs. So a nice run off that left flank. I don't know, Brian, if you're able to tell which player that is. I couldn't quite make out a number as that run was happening.
I think it was Kyle Kenagy. Kenagy cut in and just used his pace. He's got great speed. Defender just clipped him on his way by, and I don't think there's any doubt that it was a penalty, and referee didn't hesitate, so it was a good call.
So a penalty in favor of Yale, and now Nicky Downs with a chance to put Yale in front. And he buries it. Nicky Downs with a goal for Yale. And it's 1-0 for the Bulldogs. Nicky Downs scores that penalty, goes low and left. Andrew Carton. Carton getting ready to send it across, it looks like. Said he lays it off. And now the cross comes in, and a chance for a header, and it's parried away. And the keeper tries to keep it out. And it looks like it'll be a goal kick, but for a moment...
This is where goalkeepers get a lot of protection. If you watch Kenagy, he actually runs in front of the goalkeeper, not into him. And so the goalkeeper reaches over him, and it looks like that ball might have crossed the line. But this is, where goalkeepers get that extra bit of protection. And in that instance, I think Kenagy was perfectly within his rights to jump, because he actually jumped in front of the goalkeeper, not into him.
Side flag renders that moot.
It's like Kenagy has gone back into the central striker role, which is where he prefers to be. He's a real pain in the penalty area, so I think when he's playing out wide, he can still do that with his pace, but where he loves to be is in the penalty area, because he's such a good instinctive finisher. So we'll see if they can get some balls into him and see if he can get himself a goal.
Now Josh Truddy with a nice bit of skill, able to get a cross in, and it's just a little bit jet ahead on it. Kenagy ultimately able to win it back, takes a shot, saved there by Robert Strain.
See, there it is, the pain. He's a pain in the box. And that's where he likes to be. He can sniff out chances, and he can make something out of nothing. The closer he is to the goal, the better he is. And so I think this is a good a good adjustment by Coach Steiner to get him in the middle of the field where he's more comfortable and where he's more effective.
So a little bit of extra for Sacred Heart. Comes in to Sanchez. Sanchez trying to fend off his defender. And a little bit of a wrestling match here between Siaduba and Kenagy. Siaduba grabbed Kenagy around the waist and almost held him on the ground, or did hold him on the ground, and Kenagy kind of asking the ref what is going on. So Siaduba very frustrated.
So Kenagy doesn't let him turn here. When the ball gets played away, he just pulls Kenagy. Yeah, that should be a yellow. A little bit of victim blaming there, I think.
Now Nicky Downs getting a pass off to Kenagy. Kenagy with the chance to try to get around his defender, get a shot off. Kenagy takes the shot, and it just whistles past the Sacred Heart. Gudas able to get around his first defender, but ultimately taken care of.
Sanchez is off the field behind the goal and is still refereeing the game. He's still screaming at the ref. So this is where Kenagy is dangerous, going into the box, taking on players. Great cross, but it just caught, I think it was Addison Luck, caught him on the wrong foot there.
Toward Ali Islin, and that will do it here at Reese Stadium. A 2-0 win for the Yale Bulldogs over the Sacred Heart University Pioneers. A pretty good performance all around from the Bulldogs. Brian, any standout performers, any standout moments that you think are worth noting at the end of this match here?
Well, I thought Nikki Downs was very good for the whole game, but as a team, if this team's going to do well, it's going to be collectively, and I thought their collective effort, their defending was very good, their pressing, and I thought they attacked, especially in the second half, they attacked with a lot of purpose. So I would think for Coach Stannard, he's going to feel that this is a job well done, and I think a fully deserved win. So
it's now out left for Kenagy. Kenagy able to get around a couple defenders, making a nice solid run here. Kenagy might be in, he goes down, but the ref has determined that's not a foul and not a penalty. What are your thoughts on that there, Brian? It looked like he went down maybe a little easily. You could call that, you could not. He was making a good run, but
yeah, it's hard to say. I think he that last touch he took was just a little bit far away from him. It's a great run, though. He just nicks it to the left there. There's a little bit of contact. I can see why the referee didn't give that. I think the keeper probably would have had it, even if Kenagy hadn't have got knocked there on the way in.
So probably the safer of the two decisions there. Chance here, maybe, for a more threatening attack. Ryan Mateo on the ball, sends in the cross. And there's Kenagy. Kenagy heads it down, but it goes straight into the arms of the grateful Lafayette keeper Ehrlich.
It's notable on a lot of these balls that have been played into the box that, not particularly on this one, because Kenagy does well to get his head on that, but a lot of these...
Irby circles to his left, crosses one through, headed on net and into the back for a goal. Kyle Kenagy with the goal. Yale will break out with it. Yale trying to counter. Sliding a pass forward to Down. Circle, right by Morrison. Back down to Snow. To the box it goes. That's it down.
That's going to be Kenagy all the way down to the right side. He's going to be looking for Kenagy. Kenagy beats his man. Kenagy with the look on his right side. Kenagy stops, turns the other way, gives it up, takes a shot, and that's going to be blocked before it hits Pesci.
Yeah, right now the Wildcats aren't really playing like themselves. You know, they want to try.
Oh, yes. I'm sure it shows in practice. As Yale here crosses into the box, Yale trying to get a shot off, shoots, and big save by Pesci. So Pesci makes his first save of the night there. It was a good look off number 11 for the Bulldogs, Kyle Kenagy, turning to his strong side foot. But Pesci was in great position there to just gobble that one up.
That was a nice, easy save for Andrew. But the thing is, the part that should be scary is that he was able to turn, and that looks like 2 or 3 good chances for Yale that they're able to put away early in this game.
Good play there by Kenagy, trying to set it up as here's a dangerous play, and that's going to be a bloop up, and that just sails left. Wow, that was a dangerous play as they look to try and give Pesci a goal kick give and go kind of thing, but just an easy touch there by Yale forward, and they just got away with one of the Wildcats there, but this could have been a 1-0 game easily.
Yeah, Nick Miller was just trying to head the ball on a nice, easy play, but the Yale defender was smart enough to keep going, keep running. Just unluckily didn't put it in the back of the net for himself. Luckily for the Wildcats, though.
You could hear the gasp of the fans as they knew they were in trouble early. As you see on the replay, Kenagy just blooped it, and it just sails left. Nothing but empty net, but couldn't quite roll in. As UNH hasn't recorded a shot on goal yet, but Yale has been able to put up 3. As now Yale here, trying to cross it in the box. That's a good block there by UNH, because Yale still takes it. Here's Kenagy, just kicks it up towards the New Hampshire banner.
So far in this 25 minutes, it's been all Yale, all Bulldogs. Wildcats just don't seem like they can put some together right now.
It's been a tough couple of minutes for sure, as you know, we talked about that.
Looking for a call. Officials are kind of just going to let the boys play here.
Head official today is Matthew Franz, assisted by Craig Roberts and Sam McCullough on the sides.
Excellent defensive awareness there by the Crimson after the initial save by Kyle Parks. Kicked that aside, and then Geiling did a good job of sliding into the lane. He kicked that one away and will result in a corner kick for the Bulldogs, but that could have been a lot worse had he not slid and kicked that one well out of the danger zone, if you will.
Nicky Downs set to take the corner. Puts it on the far post and ahead into the net. Yale scores. Off the head of Kyle Kenagy, his first goal of the season, and the Yale Bulldogs are up 1-0 at 30-36.
Nicky Downs been the big offensive producer for this team, a goal and 2 assists coming into this game, and he set that corner kick up perfectly. Headed into the net there for the Bulldogs, and that's a tough corner goal to give up here with 30-36 to go, but excellent execution, and it started on the far side with the sophomore Nicky Downs setting things up. I believe he's going to get his 3rd assist of the season on that one off the corner. That was perfectly placed. Not much the Crimson could have done there. He'll give that back. We'll see if Downs executes this one.
Downs kept that one low on the ground. Yale will play it all the way back for Kenagy. Well outside the box. Now he centers it in. Ball up in the air looking for a bicycle and a dangerous play inside the box.
I mean, that's a risky play, the bicycle kick there, but Yale executing it. If there wasn't a Crimson defending body there, that may have gone on net. I think they're going to call. We've got three balls out there. And
Nearly 10 minutes into the second half, and still not the pressure that I'm sure Peter Lehrer would like to see from the Harvard Crimson. Now Parks will have to come out quickly, and Downs nearly had a chance there as Parks just ran by it. Now Parks has to dive at it off the inside of the post, and Yale has a 2-0 lead.
That's a tough one for Harvard because that was misplayed. Parks misplayed at the far side, and that led to a turnover. And that set up Yale. And from that point on, Parks was kind of in chase mode, trying to get back, trying to find his way back home, if you will. He just couldn't get there in time, and too much real estate between him and the far side. It actually hit the post on the far side. Yeah, this is crunch time. There's no way around that, Andy, and they've got to go to desperation mode here.
Here's a head out in front, and Yale gets it. In a critical moment of the game, the Bulldogs have tied things up. 3 minutes and 23 seconds left.
I believe that's going to be Henry Flugstad-Clark's goal. I think he got a head on it. And just a good job on the far side of the field, about midfield by Yale, on the free kick. They get that down into the box, and from there, with a pile of bodies, Flugstad-Clark gets a head on it.
Back around, this is Downs. Downs chips it off to the far side to Kirby. Kirby back to Downs. He'll fire it into the box, headed, and still controlled by Yale. Slipping down a few moments ago. Knocked away and knocked around. Now here's Kenagy. Fires the shot. That might have been a handball against Dartmouth that the referee missed. Kenagy's headgear fell off. Dartmouth will send it all the way out.
And move out of positions that they're comfortable in.
Nicky Downs to the far side. He's able to find the connection with Lucas Kirby, switching out to the far side of the field. It's a bending ball towards a penalty area, bypassing Kenagy, still lucid. The referee allows play to carry on. The half volley blocked down Matteo. Still could be there.
He fell on his arm. He's holding his arm, so it's a great ball in. And I think Kenagy went up. Yeah, he got kind of clotheslined a little bit there.
Yeah, Nerwinski was challenging both players going for the ball that time. Bit unfortunate there for the Bulldogs because that was their best spell of possession here in the first 5 minutes, and good sign of sportsmanship between him and Jacob Hauser. Just Hauser Ramsey making sure that Kenagy's all right.
Yeah, Kenagy's a tough kid, and that's where he does his best work. And I've said it before about him. When he's inside the box is when he really comes alive, and he'll get after everything, and he'll get on the end of things and make goals out of nothing. And that's why Yale needs to get the ball into the box, and get him on the end of some stuff in there.
Well, Kenagy picks his times to score, but he scores in important games. His first career game, he got a goal last year, and he had a goal and assist this season against Harvard in that thrilling 3-3 result up in Massachusetts a couple of weekends ago, where Yale jumped out to a 2-0 lead, and then they conceded 3 straight before finding the equalizing goal inside the final 10 minutes from Henry Flugstad-Clark. And this is the man we're talking about, Flugstad-Clark. We haven't talked about him a whole lot.
The Huskies, as they work on a 5th consecutive clean sheet. Back to you guys.
Downs, a ball hit towards the back post, a dangerous one headed on across the face of goal. And a chance definitely brewing there. Yale asking for a corner kick. Kenagy again in the area. It was headed across by Carton. The second best chance that the Bulldogs have had today.
Yeah, this is where I was talking before about Kenagy and what he's like in the box. He's just fearless. I mean, fearless, borderline reckless. I mean, he throws himself. But that's how you score goals. You got to be gutsy. You got to get after the ball in there. So, some good signs. It's an interesting time in the game. Separate those two lines of 4 right now.
Thrown here the near side. Sanchez muscled off. Great challenge by Kenagy, and he finds an outlet with Nicky Downs. Now Downs.
Good, JJ, because it's making UConn move. They can't defend by standing still, which makes spaces for Yale to dribble and pass through like this.
Kenagy, lovely footwork there. Did he get the return? He did not. Trying to link up with Downs here on the near side.
Starting it forward, a sophomore from Orland Park, Illinois, number 11, Kyle Kenagy. Starting in midfield, a junior from Atlanta, Georgia, number 13, Archie Kinane.
John Cullum to Tommy Griffin. Nuss finds his way back to the ball. Good play there from Ollie Iceland to win it for Yale. And now Kenagy will lead Iceland, wrap around from Leisman, crosses it in, but far and high. Somehow a header on it. Shello grabs after. Cornell defense pleading that Shello was interfered with. What a ball there for Kyle Kenagy as he runs onto it, beating on the outside, sending one in, finds a Yale teammate. What a save from Shello. It was Nicky Downs with a chance to poke it into the left corner, and Shello diving stop to his right side. Downs takes the kick, fires one in, swinging volley from Kyle Kenagy. Would have been a showstopper for sure. About 2 feet over the net, Jack, but that looked like a design play, a set piece from Yale, and well executed. Kenagy seems to be everywhere, Jack. One of Yale's best players, you'd have to say. Most dangerous threats. Nice tackle there from Capo.
Yeah, every time Yale moves the ball up, it seems to be moving through him, so he's very involved.
Waters, now Poplawski with 2:25 to go. But Kenagy gets on the end of a back pass, and now Kyle Kenagy off to the races. Still Kenagy going on, but he holds up for just a moment. The pass is well behind Iceland, and that allows Penn to get numbers behind the ball. I know Kenagy didn't have much of an angle to go at.
And here, perhaps opportunity 2-on-2. Getting chased back low, trying to get after this one. He does get there, looking for the cross, and that's going to go out for a corner.
It's just create more danger. The threat has been there, the approach has been there. Now, can they create a chance or two and get themselves ahead by halftime?
Here, Kenagy with a lot of pace up that right side. Cross it in, and that one's going to go. Yale moves ahead 2-1. And it's John Leisman, the freshman, collecting, sending it across past the senior keeper, Higbee, and that right foot and just sneaks past, and you wanted to lead by halftime. A lead here, just under 20 minutes left to go.
Yeah, terrific work from Kyle Kenagy. That's what he does really well. He's pacey, he's strong, and he just blew by the defender there, slipped the ball across the box, confused the backs, and good job by Leisman to get on the end of that and tuck it in. So I think that's a well-deserved lead for Yale, and we'll see if that elicits a response from.
Quickly gotten the lead, and now it's its own challenge to hold on to a lead and try to extend it.
Right, and this is good experience. You know, you want to experience a little bit of everything. Hopefully, most of the time you want to learn from succeeding, but sometimes you have to learn from struggling too. And they've done their share of learning from struggling this year, so this may give them a chance to kind of get the experience of playing ahead and finishing out a game.
There's Kirby. A powerful strike, deflected away by Higbee. Kenagy was there, looking for a rebound opportunity, and Yale rewarded with a corner.
Yeah, it's good stuff from Kirby there. It was a well-hit shot. Goalkeeper.
There, an attempt goes wide, and we're seeing a good amount from Kyle Kenagy tonight. Had 3 goals in his freshman season in 12 games, 2 and 11 this year. Had a quiet start to the year. Starting to, pick up, perhaps create some more opportunities.
Well, this is the kind of game that he'll do well in, where the marking is loose and he can turn and run at people. Because his strengths, athletically, he's very fast, he's powerful, he's strong. Where he does his best work is in the penalty area. He's a guy that loves to be around the goal and have chances to score. He finds ways to get the ball in the net. So this is a game where I think it's going to suit his strengths more so than some of the games where he gets marked really tightly.
And there is Kenagy. Scored against Hartford very recently, October 25th. Earlier on in the year, had a crucial goal and assist in an impressive tie versus Harvard, 3-3. Now, under 9 minutes to go. Implores players not to be complacent. Have you seen any of that in the second half?
Well, they're competing hard, is Kenagy.
Kenagy driving up to Downs and unable to make. Not bad contact, but ultimately not a real threat. Schiffer watches as it goes off. And Dylan Underdog Snow returning to the contest. Senior, we saw him a bit early on, and Kenagy gets a well-deserved rest.
Yeah, Kenagy's done a lot of work tonight. He hasn't been in the box much as you'd like to see him, because that's where he does a lot of good work. But one of the things that I think is admirable about him is how hard he'll work for the team. He'll just run and work, and that allows the Nicky Downses and the Leismans and the Kenanes to be able to do their thing.
Not to mention serving as constant inspiration for his teammates.
Right.
You can't help feel like that energy has to be a bit contagious.
I think he's gone off to sit on the bench and watch the Cubs game, actually. He's a Chicago guy.
Yeah, Kenagy from Orland Park, Illinois. Not sure whether he's of the mindset of trying to stay immune to any updates. Some people like to
I'm
go home and
assuming
watch
he's a
on their
Cubs
own.
fan. I don't know if he is or not.
Or if he's even a baseball fan.
Everybody in Chicago is a Cubs fan.
Moments like this transcend that.
Today.
There, ball headed away. There, dangerous cross, perhaps.
I'd still like to see Kenagy play through the middle with Cook here, because I think Kenagy's pace could really give them a problem with this back four being the way that, the way they've started the game. I think he could be a real thorn in their side. He's a little bit isolated when he's out wide like that. I think through the middle he might give them some problems.
We'll go, well, not long, but they'll pass it well out to Theo Miller. Now a chance for a header. The header comes in and it just whistles left of the goal. A nice header though by number 11, Kyle Kenagy.
Princeton are definitely on the back foot when the ball's being served into the box. They're kind of hesitant. They're waiting. Coach Barlow is trying to exhort them to concentrate and just really get on their toes here, because they're not looking good when Yale has been approaching the box.
As far as Cam tries to get it upfield. And a lunging tackle there by Kenagy. And our run being made along the far left side and knocked away, but it will be a Yale corner kick.
Good work by Kenagy to win that ball back and then drive really hard at the Princeton back line and earn themselves a corner.